what's up, mates?
Hi,
Hi,
Syifa.
Syifa.
I'm good.
What about you?
Me too, as well. By the way, guys, have you heard about learning style?
Yes, I've heard it in English for Educators class last week. There are 4 types of learning styles, right?
Yep, you're right, Fia. There are visual, auditory, reading and writing, and the last is kinesthetic.
That's right. And do you have your own learning style that you always did?
Yes, I do. Since we're in the midst of pandemic, I often use audiovisual styles such as watching learning videos on YouTube or even through movies and music. But sometimes I also use the reading or writing style. I read a book to get an understanding of particular material. I also usually write down some notes during the lesson. How about you guys?
That's great, Resa. You seem to be convenient with almost all the learning style. Well, I enjoy audiovisual learning the most. That's why I prefer synchronous learning in online classes. Watching teacher explain the material and at the same time listen to their explanation makes me understand the topic much more easier. What about the others?
Yeah, I do agree with you, Fia and Rasa. Moreover, I do like watching video not only from the lecturers but also on the YouTube about the materials. Those learning style help me to understand easier.
Yeah, me too, Syifa. I like reading or writing the materials while I listen to teacher explanation in synchronous classes because I think it can help me to understand the material. But yeah, sometimes I also need to watch the video about the material so I can get better understanding.
Oh, it turns out that we have the same learning style, including me. I'm also more comfortable and prefer to learn using the audio-visual learning style because it makes it easier for me to understand the material. And then besides that, reading and writing are also one of the other learning styles that help me to understand and remember the material better. And just sometimes I also need to watch learning videos like on YouTube to get a good understanding.
Yeah, I do agree. Now, can you guys imagine if you're a teacher and questioning yourself with what kind of teaching approach that fit with your learning style?
If I become a teacher, the learning approach that fit with my learning style are a learner-centered approach and interactive approach. Because in that learning approaches, student and teacher interact with each other, and then they are capable of sharing something, and students have the opportunity to speak more than their teacher. And I think by these teaching approaches are really help the student to get more knowledge by themselves.
Wow, sounds great. I think if I become teacher, I will use a collaborative approach because there are several benefits from this method, like developing students' social skill, make students engage in learning. They will have opportunity to express their ideas. Students can learn new things from one another and increase students' confidence.
Yeah, I think the same way with you guys, especially I am a language learner that we need to speak up to gain our confidence and to use to the language itself. But unfortunately, we are in this COVID-19 situation, right? And those makes these approaches are not easy. So in this situation, maybe I'll use indirect and direct approaches so that the teacher can demonstrate and guide the material.
Oh, great opinion, guys. For me, since I'm an audio visual learner, in my opinion, the best teaching approach that fits my learning style is direct teaching approach. Yep, the reason is because in this approach, teachers are required to tell and demonstrate what they are going to thought, and that is exactly what audiovisual learner need. In the future, if I become a teacher, I will also use this approach to facilitate my students whom the learning style is audiovisual.
I think I agree with Shiva. If I were to become a teacher, I would also use an indirect approach, especially in a pandemic situation like this. As a teacher, we must facilitate the learning process for students, as Shiva said, by giving interesting learning videos and then providing further understanding, and it will make it easier for students to learn and understand the material well.
Yeah, I do agree. This is so interesting because everyone have their own thoughts about it. And what about EFL, guys? What kind of learning approach that fit with it?
Maybe we can combine them with interactive and direct.
That's exactly what I think. With interactive approach, we can make the students speak in English so that they can use the language, especially in online learning with synchronous method.
Yep, and we can use indirect. The teacher can help the student by giving an interesting media to help the students to be able to understand about the materials, and also will make it easier for implementing teaching and learning process.
I'm sorry, guys, but I have different opinion about the indirect approach. It is indeed a good approach, letting students discover things by themselves. But I think it would be quite hard when it's applied in EFL classroom because we learn foreign language, in this case, English. For example, when we are required to understand certain concept in English by ourselves, it is usually cause lots of confusion, isn't it? Instead, I recommend to use direct approach. Students will receive the explanation and ask what they don't understand directly to the teacher.
I think it makes sense via by combining the direct and interactive teaching approaches. I think it will make learning both effective and efficient.
Yeah, I do agree. And what about the others?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you.
I agree with you.
All right, thank you, guys. So you agree that direct and interactive approach will be the best approach to apply in EFL classroom.
Okay, let's continue our discussion, guys, in WhatsApp group.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
See you
you,
guys.
guys. See you.
See
Bye.
you. Bye.